Hey, well, welcome back to the show. It's going to be a tough day today. I can see it all the way through. Forbes has been teasing me mercilessly.
I'm sorry, but it's always a pleasure to have our next guest here. Bob Blumer, of course, TV host, cookbook author. You can watch Glutton for Pleasure is the book, and Glutton for Punishment is the show.
There you go.
How
So
are you?
confusing. Even I have a hard time keeping
You're just
Pleasure,
a glutton.
punishment.
You know, it's easy. I figured out a way. I'm out of the punishment business and I'm into the pleasure
Good
business.
job.
That's it.
Which is why you're in Vancouver, because you really, you call yourself an Alco tourist, is that right?
That's true. And on a lot of my vacations, I actually go visit distilleries or wineries.
And what are you visiting here?
Well, this past weekend I was at Victoria Gin, which is a small gin, a boutique gin distiller on Vancouver Island that I'm actually a small shareholder in. It's like I liked it so much I bought part of the company, you know, the old routine.
How did you hear about these guys? I mean, this is becoming more common in the whole business in general, but I mean, when you get into the specifics of gin and stuff.
Right. Word travels. I had a friend who was involved with them, and they're such a small company that they want to get the word out, and I was a big fan and just gave them an opportunity to bring someone else in and have someone talk about the gin. And it's amazing. I just wrote a story that's going to appear in Food and Drink, which is the LCBO magazine in Ontario, and I compared 6 premium gins. And it's interesting. You think gin is gin or whatever, but the difference is, and it's great. They're very different. They're different botanicals that are used. They're all of the same quality level.
Yeah.
But the differences are very stark. And it's also an interesting way to test anything. That old brown bag blind test.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to
Mike
learn
calls
about
that Friday night. Okay, what are we making today? We're making one of the recipes from the book. We've got some shrimp here. What are we doing?
We're going to make a little shrimp on the Barbie. This is just one of my favorite dishes. Very simple.
We're just missing one thing.
Well, it's a,
the
it's
barbecue.
a surprise.
The
All right,
barbecue.
so this is how simple it is. A little bit of oregano, a little bit of thyme, a little lemon pepper, a little spice. I like to use chipotle powder, but we didn't have any on hand, so we're using a little cayenne pepper.
A little bit of kick.
Little kick.
You really don't measure. You have to measure with this. It's just all flavor.
Oh, measuring.
Measuring's for suckers.
Schmeasure.
Measuring's for the rookies.
Exactly.
But this is part of your philosophy. I mean, when you read the book or you watch your show, I mean, there's a sense of fun in everything that you do when it comes to food.
Well, and you know why it's fun? Because you don't have to pay that much attention. Whether I put in a little too much of this or a little too little of that, it wouldn't really affect very much.
Yeah.
And that's why most of my food really is, it's like low fuss.
Yeah.
But high impact.
With a
bold
little whimsy.
flavors.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of whimsy.
Cap it off with the whimsy part.
And what's your advice on cooking prawns? You had the pan with a little bit of oil at a nice temperature, but how long?
Well, you only want to cook them until they're translucent right now, and when they lose their translucency, so about a minute aside. And anything after that, you're just you're contributing to the rubber factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Nobody wants to do
at all.
that.
So we're just going to cook for another 30 seconds. Going to turn them over, and then we're going to do a little presentation.
I know you guys just aired the final installment of the Guinness World Record portion of Glutton for Punishment, and this was the onion peeling.
How'd that go?
Now we can talk about it a little bit.
Exactly.
So what record were you trying to break with
I was
onion
trying to
peeling?
break a record that had stood for 30 years, the fastest time to peel 50 pounds of onions.
50 pounds.
And the record was 3 minutes and like 28 seconds or something for 50 pounds of onions. So I thought my goose was really cooked. But I have such pig-headed determination and so much vanity that I was not concerned. And it was the last episode, so I didn't care if I lost my fingers with my razor-sharp knife.
Right. I've done everything else. Now I can get into
What was your
it.
time, and how did you do?
I knocked 38 seconds off the record,
Crazy.
and my time was 2 minutes and
That's
something.
insane.
Did you practice before? I mean,
Oh, I do.
obviously
In
you
every
practice a
episode,
little
I have 5 days
Yeah.
to train. So I trained with the chef. I trained. I did some out-of-the-box training, and I did everything I could to avoid crying, which you can't avoid. So you just got to man up.
You gotta gut it up.
Okay, when you're not trying to break a record, do you have advice for chopping onions? I put them in the freezer. Is that crazy? For a couple minutes?
I tested all the
Feel free to say that's crazy, Bob. That's fine. Yes. Yes.
I find the best way is in a swimming pool underwater. Then
Perfect.
You don't cry. So you know what? This is ready already. And
Okay.
how much sweat did we break?
None. We weren't
And
even
you're-
paying attention.
You're asking yourself, how could this be shrimp on the Barbie if we haven't cooked it on a Barbie?
We have no Barbie.
Because
And you know the answer is, if you've known me for all these years, you know why.
Famous Barbie.
Barbie, how Barbie will travel. She's gotta
Exactly.
look at the
She does come
camera,
with me.
Barbie.
I tell you, I've had to explain. I've had
What's
to
in your
explain to a few
suitcase?
nice customs officers.
Why you've got a Barbie.
Exactly.
Do you what else do you travel with? Just Barbie, or is there?
I do travel with my knives, actually. And
That
you know,
must be tough.
when you've got sharp knives and Barbie dolls in your luggage,
People ask questions.
they do.
do they want to hang out?
What's our dipping option here? What's it?
That's sour cream. It's sour cream with a little bit of cilantro and lime juice. I take the cilantro, bit of lime juice, whip it up in a blender until it looks like wheatgrass, and
Nice.
just mix it in with that.
Beautiful.
And when you are traveling on the road like you are right now, where do you eat? Do you try new places? Do you have go-to places in Vancouver?
I do have some very favorite go-to places, and I've been, I was just asked today for my Twitter account, which is a new thing coming on your show.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes tweet about the places that I go
Something
to. 'cause-
about congee day in Vancouver? Was that what it was? Yeah.
That's right, Congee Noodle House.
What is congee?
Congee is Chinese rice soup, but you add all sorts of things. So you have all these condiments on the table, and you can add some chili sauce. They have this amazing at this little Congee Noodle House. So it's just a hole in the wall, but really
Sometimes those are the
fantastic.
best, though.
Oh my God, I crave that place. every
Look, this is the pleasure of a man who loves food.
And
when
then
you travel
also
around.
Go Fish. I love Go Fish. Their
Yeah.
salmon sandwich, their French fries.
Yeah.
And a simple concept, right? Shack by the beach
yeah, I
and
love it.
down by the water, nice
Yeah,
and
in
fresh.
fact,
You take
one of
it
these
right
days
up.
I'm going to pull my toaster mobile up beside it.
Just go for it.
Please do, and
what
bring
else,
Barbie.
What else are you working on right now? Are you traveling a little bit, or? or just-
I'm traveling. I'm actually working on some live shows. I just opened for Jamie Oliver in Toronto in a 3,000-seat venue. It was so rock and roll. I come out early before the show, and I'm setting my stuff up on the stage, and his tour manager is trying to limit the amount of space I have on the stovetop. Just like, it was like, wait, can't I put the whole drum set out, please?
That's really
but
funny.
he was lovely. They were actually all very nice.
Yeah.
And it was such a fun experience that I'm going to do some live dates on the East
brilliant
Coast with
idea.
Kevin Brosh. We're going to go out and just sort of cause some
well,
trouble.
and for a man who loves to tell stories as well, and who spends so much time on the road, and really sort of having stories collect around you as well, that'll
Absolutely.
be a great
Fun.
event.
And then I'm working on a new show for the Food Network, and we'll see how that all goes.
Do you want to give away the plot like you did last time?
Last time he told us he beat all the Guinness
I
World
get in so
Records.
much trouble. So these, by the way, are ready.
Mike, would you like one?
Yeah.
Do you have your EpiPen?
Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit of anaphylaxis.
Bob, thank
just
you
a
so
touch.
much.
So-
Pick up the cookbook. It is absolutely amazing. It's available at your local bookstore. You can go to Bob's website to find out more information. Of course, you can watch Glutton for Punishment on the Food Network. We're going to take a break. When we return, of course, you will recognize him from Dragon's Den. Brett Wilson will be joining us right after this. Okay,
Those
man.
are tremendous.
I got stuck with the talking part there.